So this week we're continuing the core value for February, and it is honest conversations. Now, one of the next areas where we need to be able to have honest conversations is in our team communication. And that is when we are communicating with each other. Because if we're not able to be honest amongst our team, what is probably going to happen is we're going to either have misunderstandings, or people are not going to share relevant information, or people are going to waste time doing things that probably could have been done faster if we were able to have honest conversations. So the very first thing that I will say is, as a team, we do not take any feedback or any question personal, or judge each other for someone asking for help on something. Because if we're taking it personal, or we're judging people for the questions that they're asking, what ends up happening is people will not actually be honest, and we won't share feedback. And what it will do is it'll start to ruin the dynamics of the team. We do want to make sure that we create an environment where we can have honest conversations. So let's walk through a couple of things when it comes down to team communication. Like I said, the first thing is we don't take it personal for feedback that someone on the team gives us. And a very clear example of that is I always ask the marketing team when it comes down to these videos or any of the other marketing content that I've done, it's just, hey, I want your honest feedback. If you didn't like it, let me know. Or, hey, if it was confusing, or if it was complicated, it was too long, I welcome the feedback, because what we want to do is we want to continue figuring out, okay, how can we get better at what we are doing? And plus, also with the golden age, when I meet, or when your manager meets with you to review your performance, it's not necessarily to do a personal attack, it's to give you honest feedback. And then when it comes down to questions, we should never be afraid to ask for help or to ask questions. Now, here's a couple of things we want to keep in mind. When it comes down to asking for help, here's a really good framework that I think that will make us more effective as a team. When you are asking for help, the first thing that I would say is, have you tried to figure it out yourself? Now, I don't want you spending a ton of time trying to figure out something all on your own. What I would say is, give it a decent effort. If it takes you more than 30 minutes to actually try to figure out at least a game plan, or to even start to try to figure out how to handle it yourself, if it takes more than 30 minutes, it's probably time to move on to the next thing. And one of them maybe is searching in our Loom videos or a Loom account. Everyone on the team has access to our Loom account. A lot of times we've already done meetings, or there have been conversations that have happened about different things, about how we do this or different processes. So one of the things that can be very helpful is to go to Loom and search for keywords. For example, if you wanted to know like how to do a balance sheet reconciliation, just search that keyword in Loom, and there's probably a video out there about that. Or if you want to figure out like, how do we post content on LinkedIn? You can go and search, and you may find a video from a meeting that we've already done. And then the next one is, if you don't get your answer from Loom, you can ask AI, or we have a business account, a company accounts for Chat GPT. You can ask that, or you can search online. Now, here's the key thing. If you are going to use AI, or you're going to search online, make sure we do not have any confidential information, meaning like no account numbers, no client names, no names of specific vendors or names of specific clients that can be traced back to any confidential information. Make sure that is not included in what you type in the AI or what you type in the search box. And then if you don't get your answer from any of those things that you've tried, then hey, it's perfectly fine for you to ask a team member. Now, here's the way that I would recommend that you approach when it comes down to asking a team member is really think about it. Just saying, hey, here's what I have already tried, and I still need some help figuring out this piece. Can you help me? And then tell them what you need help with. Because what you want to do is you want to emphasize that, hey, I've tried some things already. Here's what I have tried, and I still need a little bit more help. And based on the culture, the team environment that we have, you will be welcomed when you're asking for help because that's the way we operate as a team. Now, a couple of other things that I wanted to cover on this is one is we talked about it's okay to ask for help when it comes down to giving feedback. A very good thing for you to do when it comes down to giving feedback is to let people know, hey, here's why I'm bringing this up. So, for example, the marketing team came back to me, and one of the things that we realized is I was delaying the process of the team being able to edit and write newsletters and get the email newsletters out. So, the team gave me some feedback and they said, hey, Terrell, when you wait till the week before to do the video, hey, it stops us from being able to get the newsletter and the edits out on time. Can you do it a week earlier? And that was very good feedback the team gave me because I had no idea that my actions were having a negative impact on what the team was trying to accomplish. But by them giving me that honest feedback, it helped me move things around so that I could stop being a problem for the rest of the process. And that is true across the business. So think about this on the accounting side. All of our accountants, when you're a senior accountant and you're reviewing what the bookkeeper is doing, if the bookkeeper continues to make the same mistake over and over again, guess what? That's going to make your life as a senior accountant and eventually the accounting manager is going to make a problem for your life. So, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're giving honest feedback. Now, when we're giving feedback, make sure we are being respectful. No one should ever be disrespectful when you are giving feedback. And to be clear, to let them know, hey, here's what the problem is, and here's the impact that what you are doing or what you are not doing is having. And then be very clear on what you are asking them to change. Because if you're not being clear about, hey, here's what the problem is, here's the impact of the problem, and here is what I'm asking you to do differently. If you're not doing all three of those things, it's probably not going to be as effective. And then the last one that I want to cover is asking questions if you don't understand. Now, I know it is very easy when someone is explaining something to you for you to just say, "Okay." And I think that is absolutely not the right thing to do. If you don't understand something, it is perfectly okay for you to ask questions like, "Hey, when you said this part, I don't know if I fully understand that." And if that's a little too uncomfortable for you to say, is maybe a different way is after the person finishes explaining something to you, maybe you come back and say, "Hey, I want to say, here's what I understand from what you said. Am I understanding you clearly?" Because if you tell them, hey, here's what I understand from what you said, and you explain what you understood from what they said, and then you can ask them, hey, did I miss anything or did I properly interpret what you were saying? Because if we are not getting clear understanding when we communicate with each other, what's probably going to happen is we're going to go off and we're going to do something that's not productive, something that's not useful, and that is not going to help us operate effectively as a team. So, these are three things that I really want us to practice when it comes down to honest communication is knowing that it's okay for us to ask for help. Try to figure out some things on your own, but don't spend too much time doing it. And when you get to that point, knowing that there is no shame in asking for help and then giving honest feedback. Like, we don't know when what we are doing is having a negative impact on other people on the team. So if something is having a negative impact on your job or what you do on the team, it is okay for you to give feedback to other people on the team. Like I said, even though I'm the boss of the company, I still appreciate the feedback that the team gives me. If I'm late on a deadline or something, the team coming back to me saying, hey, Terrell, what you were supposed to get something done by yesterday, that's stopping us from being able to do this and this. Hey, Can we get you to get that done? Or should we move the entire deadline? Or should we move the dates? Like, that is very fair feedback to give to anyone in the company. And then also make sure you actually understand when someone is communicating information to you. If someone is asking you to do something, if you don't really understand what they're asking you to do, you're probably not going to do it properly. Don't be afraid to ask questions just to make sure that you are on the same page and you understand what is being asked of you. Everyone, have a great week, and let's continue to work together to build the right culture and core value within our